Now for boy loop, this one has, you can say it's divided in three parts. The first part is we're gonna check our sensors and we're gonna make sure that our sensors, whether they're being touched or not. So the first one we're gonna do is we're gonna do analog read for the left sensor and the right sensor. So we're gonna create two more variables for right sensor, left sensor, and we're gonna, instead of analog pin, sorry, this was different. Instead of analog pin, we're gonna have left sensor. What do we call it? Left sensor. And we're gonna have right sensor. And so we're gonna store those in our lives. Right sensor, left sensor variables. Alright, so now we get to the good part. So we're gonna check our sensors to see which one is being touched. So we're gonna have our left sensor, and we're gonna check whether it's less than our left default. Right? And inside of it, we're gonna do a few things. So the first thing is we're gonna, whatever the now sensor was, is gonna become the old sensor. So if this was left sensor, now it's gonna be saved on old sensor. And now sensor, which is just a variable, is gonna become the left sensor, which we're gonna say is S1, sensor 1. Since we have three sensors, but we're not using the middle one, the left one is gonna be left S1, and the right one we're gonna say S3, just for consistency. We're also gonna turn off the LEDs, so that in the beginning of this, actually, let's turn these off outside of the if statements. So every time the loop starts, it's gonna start by turning off the lights instead of doing it in each if statement. Since we're here, we're just gonna turn on one light, and that's gonna be the left sensor, the left light. And then we're also gonna check with an else if, we're gonna check the right sensor, and we're gonna check that the right sensor is less than our right default. Whoa. Right default, and it's gonna look similar to right here. We're just trying to store values. Whoa. It's gonna look very similar to our left sensor one, but the only thing that's gonna change is that now sensor is now gonna be S3. So old sensor is gonna be whatever the old now sensor was, and now sensor becomes S3. And for this one, we're gonna turn on the right LED, which is 18.